Come on down with me. Get your fishing line. We'll be doing all the fun things that cause us to be losing track of time. Come on down with me.
Dale Helgeson here with the Outdoor Experience. Today we're going to be talking about transducer mounts for your live imaging. So I'm sponsored by Sniper Marine. It's a new mount on the system. You guys really need to check them out. They're really great. We're going to talk about the install today and a little bit about installing this on your boat and some things to do and look for while you're installing it. Alright, here on the Sniper pole, one of the great advantages is it's got this gearbox. It also has an arrow for showing which direction your transducer is facing. So they make this extension arm that you put into this and you tighten it down with a set screw, and then when you turn this handle, all you do is turn it. If you see on the box, you can see which direction it's going, and it'll actually turn your pole. So you can have this set in one place and rotate your transducer without moving the pole around. It stays in a stationary position and you can rotate your transducer. So we're going to talk about the basic install of this. Your pole comes, it's a pretty big pole. One thing you'll have to do, you'll have to take these set screws out and release this collar to fit it into this mount. And this is a fish finder mount that we are going to use on this boat. So you loosen up the set screw, slide the collar, and then you'll slide this through the hole in the fish finder mount. So now we're going to look at installing the actual transducer to the pole. One of the things with the Sniper Marine, you have to take these 4 set screws off, pull this cover off, and then feed the cable from down here. There's a hole in the shaft. You feed the cable up this shaft, up in through this box, and it'll come out. There's a hole in the backside here, and you feed the cable through there, and then you can mount your transducer on your pole wherever you want your transducer, preferably low, so it's in the water more. But then your cable will come out, and your cable won't be exposed except for a short little piece from your transducer into this hole, so your whole cable is protected inside the shaft, and it'll still allow you to rotate this 360 degrees without turning the pole at all. The pole will be stationary. Alright, one of the things we're going to do too is, because this is a walleye boat, it's a deep V boat, we're going to put an extension on the pole, which will just go down on the bottom and slide up, and then it just has 2 set screws that go on, so you can mount your transducer an extra foot lower, so when you're in big waves it's not coming out of the water as much. So it's a nice little added feature, and you just tighten them down with the Allen screws again. So this is the extension once it's installed. So you can see you get that extra foot, and then you run your cable up through here, and we'll mount the transducer down on the bottom. And then the cable will come all the way up out of the gearbox. It comes up out of this box, and you turn this. There's a little groove cut out in this shaft. You turn it at a little bit of an angle so that cable can pop out of there. And inside the plate, the back plate has a hole. So your cable will feed out of this, right out of here, and then you run that into your boat to your unit. So part of our install, you have to make sure your boat is water level, so your transducer is water level underwater. So how you do that is you take a small level out in the water. So we already went and did this, and we found out, like right now, this boat's pretty level in the driveway. But we found out we needed 4 quarters to make it level in the water. So what you do is you put your boat in the water and you take this level and you just start putting quarters in until your bubble is level in the water. Once you get out of the water, so we already measured it that it was 4 quarters. And I actually put a little tape on them to keep them together, but we know 4 quarters. So once we get ready to put the transducer level, we'll put this back on with the 4 quarters, with the level, and we will lower the trailer until it is water level. And that's when we'll level the transducer. So one of the little tips for mounting your transducer is, once you get the transducer mount on, don't tighten it all the way until you get the cable ran and out, because you're going to want to turn this to where you want it in the boat and tie this down, lock it down, and then have your transducer set the way you want with your shaft. So you got to make sure there's an arrow on top. You have to make sure your transducer is square with that arrow. In other words, when you turn it, you won't know what direction you're in properly. So once you get the cable up through the shaft, then you just slide the end through here, and you mount this back on, and this will be how it's mounted on your bracket. All right, so here we have this installed. Transducer's mounted down here. We got it pointed with the same direction as our arrow. So when we're up above turning it, it turns, and you can see what direction you're pointing. This is our cable coming out of the unit, and then there's several options. This person wants to run the cable back because he wants to be able to put the transducer in the back as well. Mine, I drilled a hole and ran it through to my box, but he's going to run his cable up above for now and see how he likes it. But he's, it's all personal preference at that point with your cable management. Some people don't want to drill holes in their fiberglass boats, but this is basically how the mount goes. And then now you can just rotate it while you're sitting in your chair, and you don't have to turn this at all, and everything's set in place. So here's another Sniper Marine mount. So check out Sniper Marine. You can't go wrong with these mounts. They're really solid. When you're hitting big waves, they don't vibrate, they don't bounce. There's not a lot of sway with them. So take a look at them, and you'll really like them.
Come on down with me. Get your fishing line. We'll be doing all the fun things that cause us to be losing track of time. Come on down with me. Grab your rod, you'll find. Maybe in a little bit we all gonna be doing just fine. Hey, what you doing? Got a head for the dough. Well, we don't have to slave for Uncle Sam no more.